Assalamu alaikum. We are going to learn today about vocabulary and grammar, which corresponds to your student's book, page 37. We are going to learn in vocabulary, prefixes and suffixes. And in grammar, we are going to learn between comparisons, that means comparative and superlative. We are gonna start with the vocabulary in your student's book, page 37. So please, you need your student's book, which is going to be our lesson today. Prefixes and suffixes. What is a prefix and what is a suffix? Prefixes and suffixes are super useful for customizing the meanings of words. But what are they? A prefix is a group of letters that's added to the beginning of a word. In Arabic, prefix means badi'a. So these are letters, okay? A group of letters. You put them, you write them in front of the word, and it becomes part of the word. And a suffix is an affix. Affix means لاحقة. You add these letters to the end of the word. Prefixes modify the meaning of a word. They can make a word negative, يعني يعطوا العكس, the opposite. Show repetition or indicate opinion. Some suffixes also add to or change a word's meaning. Others can signal the word's part of speech or indicate verb tense. Let's go to your student's book and to the first exercise. Look at the words in bold in the sentences below. What do you think they mean? Choose A or B. So, the first one, the list is endless. Please focus on the word endless. So, the word endless here, what do you choose? Coming to an end or having no end? Make up your mind. Choose. So, the answer, it is B, having no end. So, endless means having no end. 2. That sounds incredible. Incredible means impossible to believe. Okay? Because here we use the IN, incredible, means impossible. Okay, number 3, unusual. What does it mean in this context? Common or strange? It is strange. Okay, the answer. Number 4, it is illegal to transport a bowl of fish on a public bus. Illegal. What does it mean? If you know the root of the word, you know that IL was added. So it is against the law. غير شرعي. For number 5, some stupid laws could be harmful to people. Here, the word harmful, what does it mean? It is A, causing harm. Now, let's go to the note and read it together. The prefixes UN, which is un, and IN, which is in, we read it, are used before adjectives and adverbs to give them the opposite meaning. For example, usual, unusual, correct, incorrect. The second point, instead of IN, we use the prefixes IM when the word starts with M or P. As you noticed, possible, impossible, patient, impatient, these examples of the M and P. So we use IM instead of IN. IL when the word starts with L. And you also notice the word in number 4, legal. Illegal comes from the word legal, so it starts with L, we add IL. And IR when the word starts with R. If you know the most common words, regular, irregular verbs. Regular and irregular. The third point, the suffix full is used after a noun to form an adjective. So we can change from noun to adjective by adding full, which means having enough of, like care, careful. The last point, which is the fourth, the suffix less is used after a noun to form an adjective, which means not having. Okay, so less means not having. End, endless. Okay, let's move to our activity, which is B. Here you're gonna use these words and you're gonna complete the sentences using the correct form of the two words in capitals. Number one, what is the answer? Able becomes what? Unable. Possible. And number two, she found it. Your answer would be impossible. Number three, success. Remember the rule about making the word or the context, if it is negative or positive. So if it is negative, you need to put like opposite of the word. And if it is positive, you add suffixes that add something positive. Like the word here, success, you make it positive by adding successful. Okay, responsible, مسؤول. So it was of Larry to drive fast. Fast means that not good. So when driving, so it is irresponsible. So the answer. Number five, logical. What does the first letter remind you of the words we did on page exercise A? So logical becomes it was to spend so much on a pair of shoes. Illogical. Care, you're gonna make it negative or positive. Decide. Make up your mind. So it is careless here. Why? Because they lit a fire in the night in a forest. That is not good. Number seven, efficient. كفؤ. This heating system is very, because it uses lots of energy. So using lots of energy, is it something positive or negative? Here it is negative, so we make it inefficient. And the last point, number eight, help. Is it gonna be helpful or helpless? Okay, you should read the context and decide, is it negative or positive? Alice felt because she couldn't rescue the injured bird. In this case, this feeling is helpless because she didn't know how to help the bird. Okay, our next lesson is comparison in grammar. We need to go through some of the activities shown in the student's book, the same page 37 to the right of your hand. Read the examples below and match them with their functions. Okay, we have three sentences, 1 to 3, and we have two things to decide. Number A, saying, comparing two people, things, actions, situations, or ideas. It is comparative in this way because it is two people. You compare one with another one, or a group with another group. But in B, comparing one person or one thing or one action, situation, or idea with several of the same kind. Several means a group, more than two. So you gotta decide, is it A or B according to the comparison. Here in number 1, can bicycles go faster than cars? You compare bicycles and cars. In this case, bicycles and cars, is it A or B? Comparative or superlative? In A, it is comparative. In B, it is superlative. So is it one with another one or one with a group or several people? It is A. One with another one. Bicycles with cars. Number 2, decide the strongest here. I have ever heard. In this case, it is B. Number 3, also between what? You should decide, make up your mind, between 10 a.m. and 7 a.m. there isn't as much traffic as early in the morning. In this meaning, you are comparing between two things. It is A. Okay, let's go to another activity. Read the sentences below. Which sentences mean there is not much difference? Underline, please, not much difference. And between the laws, and which means there is big difference. So underline big difference. So you're gonna decide. And also you're gonna write which words in the sentence determine the meaning. أي الكلمات تقرر هذا المعنى. Number 1, the law about bicycle in Connecticut is far more ridiculous than the law about lorries in UK. Far more, here you need to focus. There is a law about chewing gum in Singapore which is slightly stricter than the one in Thailand. So let's begin with the words. What are the words? The words are far more and slightly in each sentence. In number 1, far more. In the second, it is too. Now, again, to the words you underlined, you should here decide not much difference or big difference in number 1. So it is big difference when you say it is far more. And when 2, which is slightly stricter, it is not much difference. Let's go to another activity, which is C. Match the examples 1 to 2 with the rules A to B. A says the structure comparative form plus and comparative form is used to indicate continual change, تغير مستمر. B, the structure the plus comparative form. In another, there is a comma, so it is another sentence. The comparative form is used to describe 2 actions or situations, one of which comes as a result. So here, like, it is reason and result, reason and effect. What is the answer for number 1? It is A, and 2, it is B. The earlier we start, you see the word earlier is the second earlier is the result of the first earlier. Let's go to another activity, which is D. Complete the second sentence so that it has a similar meaning to the first sentence using the word given. Okay, you have given the word not. You're gonna rewrite the sentence. The exam was less difficult than I expected. So the exam, how do you say it? Okay, was not as difficult as I expected. Number 2, my headache kept getting worse, so I took an aspirin. So is it A or B? Continual or as a result here? It is continual. So you write what? You write worse and worse. My headache, it is continual, was getting worse and worse, so I took an aspirin. Number 3, yesterday it was a little cooler than it is today. Use slightly in this case. Today it is what? Slightly warmer than it was yesterday. I have never had a better meal. You're gonna use the word that. This is, okay, the best meal I've ever had. Number 5, as Kevin ate more popcorn, he got thirstier. So the more popcorn, it is salty, and thirsty, you know, when you feel that you need water to drink. So the more popcorn Kevin ate, the thirstier. It is a result. Why? Because he ate more popcorn. And the last sentence, I couldn't do any better. So you're gonna use best. This is the best I could do. Okay? Thank you very much for doing that. As a reminder, you can do the exercise in your workbook, page 27. Thank you very much for your listening. I hope that it was helping, and your comments and any questions are welcome to our group discussion. Thank you.